Winning. No cheat codes, pressure on pressure, make gold. Patience on patience, don't fold. All we want is everything, that's all we winning. No cheat codes, pressure on pressure, make gold. Patience on patience, don't fold. All we want is everything, that's all we winning. Double up.
We back. Long time no see, goddamn. Damn. Is it me? What you talking about?
I decided I don't like your ugly ass.
Is it me? Hey, we back though, man. Episode, what is it? Episode 6, right?
Episode 6.
Yes, sir, man. We back in action, man. It should be a good show. Would you like to introduce our guests?
Yeah. We have a very special guest on the Artifacts podcast today, Mrs. Nikita Johnson, out of Omaha. They call it Omaha, Nebraska. I don't know why they call it that. I don't know why they call it that. They call it Omaha, Nebraska. You might be surprised. They call it Omaha, Nebraska.
Well, they have black women in Omaha. That's dope.
Man, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you want to come. They call it Omaha, Nebraska. You know what I'm saying?
I don't call it that.
Do the cool people call it that? Like, who actually called it that?
Well, yeah, she's a very special guest. You know what I'm saying? She is my beautiful wife, and that is my son. That's with stuff dripping from his lip right now. We live.
You gotta keep him occupied. He's drinking a smoothie.
But I'm gonna let her tell us a little bit about herself, but Wise is my wife, Nikita. This is the Wise.
Nice to formally meet you.
Yes, hey Wise, how you doing? I be hearing you and Todd on the podcast going.
I wish this nigga would. I feel you. My girl be jealous. My girl is exactly like literally. She's like, nigga, come on.
Like, it's been 2 hours.
That many conspiracies in the world.
But my name is Nikita. I am born and raised Omaha, Nebraska, 37 years old, married to the wonderful Todd Johnson.
Fund itself? Well, your EIN.
But
pick up where you left off at. You said something before that. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Married to the wonderful, magnificent Todd Johnson. Our 2-year anniversary is coming up. Shameless plug, 2-year wedding anniversary coming up. But yeah, just a wife, a mother. I have 3 biological children, Todd Jr. being the last of the Mohicans, and altogether we have 8 kids together, blended.
Real try.
We talk about a lot of stuff, so I look forward to putting some input in on y'all, because most of the stuff y'all talk about on the podcast, we've talked about in depth too. So just excited to be here.
Already.
And this is our other special guest, TJ. I don't know if he's gonna have anything to say, but we'll see.
So TJ, he gonna say his first words or anything.
Dada. Good.
Said Dada first.
Hi. Yes, of course. He still haven't said mama. I think he on strike.
She being humble, man. Tell her she's also a loctician.
And, right. I know she do more than that.
Yeah, and she's an author. She writing a book right now. You know what I'm saying? So.
Sorry. Yes, I'm a loctician. I make my own natural hair and skincare products.
Yeah, plug yourself. Tripping.
Whip by Kita is my brand. It's been in effect since 2013. And yes, I am in process of writing a book. So.
What's the book about?
My life. From birth to now.
Okay.
So yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
How's the process? I'm writing a book right now too, but I'm having a hard time going back to those dark places. You know what I mean? Those memories. What you kind of. How's that process for you?
Oh, it's hard. It's hard. If we being all the way real, I I started writing and I put it down. Like I got to a period in my life where I had to literally go to therapy and I could not write. Like I was scared to write because some stuff you put to the back of your mind and it's literally like it didn't happen.
Like you forgot it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like
Uh-huh.
all the details, that whole time period in your life is like just a black hole. And then when you try to dig that stuff back up, it do something to you.
You relive it. You go through it again. It's tough. That's the space I'm in. Do I need to go to therapy? Maybe that's what it is. Because that's the space I'm in right now where I can't write no more because it's like, damn, it's getting deep.
It's hard. It's hard. Todd pushes me. He's like, babe, you got it. But I get to some points where I'm just like, I can't. I do feel like I've done a lot of healing from, therapy, being married to the right person, those kind of things, will help you heal. But it's still a tough process. It's a real tough process. So, I could push out 30, 40 pages, but it drains you.
Yeah.
It drains you.
Absolutely.
So I've been writing this book for like 5 years now.
So what percentage you feel like you at right now?
I'm about halfway through.
Okay.
Right now. So if I could just get past where I'm at right now, if I can get past that, I feel like I can hammer it out.
It'll flow better.
Yeah. Once I get past the middle section, I feel like I can go. So.
Do you already have your conclusion in your head, like how you want to end it?
I'm definitely going to end it right after my divorce.
Okay.
Because once I get past that, everything in my life after that has been good. So I want that to be on its own. I don't want it to be tainted and
Understood.
I just want that to be completely separate.
Right.
How about you?
Probably I think that's what's stopping me too, because I feel like it's not complete yet. Like the story isn't complete yet. Like I'm still living it. So I think that's keeping me from completing it too, is because I don't think I got an ending point yet.
Why you got multiple books in you though, baby?
I do. That's why I started writing I'm writing a series now about how I got locked up, like telling my perspective of the story about what happened. So I had to transition from the book to that because I couldn't, I couldn't get past a certain point in the book.
Don't you wish we would have journaled our lives from we're gonna get into that. But
Absolutely.
y'all, I think per capita, you and Nikita got the most war stories in the nation. So like both of y'all got like 10 books in y'all life.
I do. I really do. I realize I gotta section it off. I can't do it all in one project. Yeah. I gotta give it to
you had an autobiography, you know what I mean? You got an autobiography, get everything, but you got so many different, both of y'all got so many different, aspects you can attack, subject matter you can hone in on to create one book,
I agree.
So you see, Wise is a man of many hats, literally. And, I be bringing her into the battle rap world, so she knows about DNA too. We have our rap group.
They can't handle the truth.
I created a character called Wise Hat. You know what I'm saying? Well, I didn't create it.
It's a whole Facebook page.
But somebody else made it, but I actually created a Facebook with Wise Hats. Wise has so many.
You created that Facebook?
Yeah, I did.
I thought Kate brought about flyers.
Yeah,
I created the Facebook, bro.
I know. It was so dope because nobody knew
That's
that I
funny
created
as hell.
So anytime Wise Hat was making comments or post, that was me, bro. I forgot the password now.
Bro, I did not know that.
So
Nigga, that's
funny. With a polo hat, you know what I mean? Wise is famous for his hat. Like,
so you got DNA tooth element in there because nobody knew it was you.
Yeah. I should have kept it in the bag.
Funny,
yeah, definitely with me. Wise Hat. You search Facebook for Wise Hat right now.
It's still there, nigga. I'm still friends with it. Right. That's just hilarious.
Yeah, he was commenting in the chat and everything, man. I was talking to third person. You know what I mean? But hey, remember the art dude we brought on, Matt Meyer? Matt Meyer. He cooked you, man. He tried to cook you, man. He said in the text, he said I'm still laughing how Buddy had on a strap-on do-rag. I said, I'm gonna tell him, man, so he gonna cook you next time you come back on, man. I said, you had on the strap on do-rag, man. I said, oh, man.
I'm weak as hell, bro. Hey, bro, Dimitri just hit me and said that he heard one of my songs on a TV series by Tyler Perry called Bruh.
Really?
Right?
What?
Right. Look though. I don't know how true it is because I ain't went and checked it for myself yet to validate it. But I just want to say this right now. If my song is on Tyler Perry, bro, and I didn't say it was okay, Tyler Perry, you going down, nigga.
Right.
I'm suing the hell out of you, bro.
Right.
My music better not be on no goddamn Tyler Perry. What?
Hey, you already know you didn't get
Boy,
an
you're
okay.
up, nigga.
Right. We already know you didn't get an okay, so we need to just verify now.
Yeah, we gotta know.
Yeah, we need to know because you know we can just shut the podcast down and
Right.
Look. Tahiti.
Get somebody else to run. Get somebody else to do it.
You done found the right one. Better hope it ain't my song, nigga.
What song did he say it was?
I don't know. He sent me the voice note, but it sounds like me for sure. But you can't hear the music because they talking over it.
Oh,
so
man.
I can't really
You gotta
tell
bring the
what
FBI
it is.
in and analyze that.
Yeah, well,
I'm about to go. I'm about to go watch the episode. Like I'm about to make sure.
Yeah, you know, nephew got that ear now for music, so you know.
He like, bro. He said, if it ain't you, bro, he said it sound identical to you.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Mm-mm.
All right, nigga. If Tyler Perry, I'm letting you know now. Get ready. I'm coming.
Right.
I'm coming, Tyler. Nigga, hey, boy, 300 Spartan, nigga. I'm taking hey, what?
Right.
Yeah, you gotta have all that. Yeah.
Look, just give me like a little room in the studio.
Work something out.
Give me a couple backdrops.
Yeah. You keep that one. You know what I mean? Partnership, man. Licensing deal, man. We work something out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nah,
You need to
for
turn
real,
these
bro.
books we was just talking about. I need you to go in ahead and turn them into movies right now.
Nah, I ain't fucking with Tyler. Gonna turn into some bullshit. I'm straight.
Right. And the wig's gonna be terrible.
Hey.
We gonna have a
No,
wig on.
Hey, nigga gonna have a wig on looking like this, man.
I'm straight.
Let it have ponytail like that.
I'm straight. He gonna make that bitch in like 4 days. Nah, I'm good, Tyler. I respect the capitalism in you, but I'm straight.
Man, he do too much.
Hell no.
He do make too much. The whole BET is Tyler Perry. That's Tyler Perry channel. Like
Yeah.
everything on there was produced and directed by Tyler Perry,
Jesus.
bro.
Right.
Everything.
Y'all know I'm in here working with this baby, right? So please forgive me.
It's all right.
He done knocked my whole setup down.
That's what we got the pause button for.
Okay, I'm back, y'all. Sorry.
It's all right.
Let's dive in though. Let's go. Let's jump right into the Jay Prince, man.
Yeah, man. So yesterday, the episode, I think it dropped on yesterday. It might have dropped the night before, but $1 Million Worth of Game, Wallow,
Shout out to them.
Gilly Wallow, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite podcasts, $1 Million Worth of Game. They actually interviewed Jay Prince Jr. and Mike Prince was there.
Was Michael was there too?
Yeah, Mike was there too. Yeah.
Okay.
And, Mike was the one with the long braids with the white on, that was right there with Quavo and Takeoff when it happened.
Right.
He was the one that, tried to assist and tried to de-escalate, then tried to assist him after he was shot, all that. And we know Jay Prince Jr. and all that. Jay Prince wasn't there. So I find it, a lot of people, Gilly done got a lot of backlash about it because they say Gilly was talking low and he was, acting subservient to Jay Prince, I don't necessarily agree with that. I just think he was just trying to respect the topic, the subject matter, you know what I mean? But he, his tone was a little different, but still, I don't think Gilly a sucker or nothing like that.
Right.
But in my opinion, I think that, so they talked about the whole incident, like Jay Prince actually got into the paperwork or the statements that was given from Migo Band, which is Offset's, I think, brother, or Quavo's brother, one of them brothers, the guy who allegedly, was in the shootout with the other camp, the one that was
Oh,
trying to
wow.
protect Quavo and them. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
so they say that he gave a statement, and they was reading the statement from the police where he said that he saw that Lil Cam and DJ Pat were armed earlier that night, and so I guess he was on point. And at some point, during the before the melee, he saw that one of them was trying to be aggressive towards Quavo and Takeoff. So he's saying that they're saying that he pistol whipped, or he slapped, or he hit one of them with a pistol. Which kind of set it off. And then he thought that Lil Cam was or DJ Pat was going to rob Takeoff. And so, somehow a shootout ensued or whatnot. So they like going into it because Jay Prince is like, well, it's in the paperwork now, so we can just get into it.
My man just gave up all the information.
Man, that's what they say, you know what I mean? So,
Damn.
so Jay Prince Sr. is like, this is what happened. Basically put all the blame on Migo Bands, saying that nobody in his camp moved that funny. Nobody in this camp, be on any type of aggressive stuff. Everybody is about respect, that type of thing. And that Migo Band should have been left home. He went as far as to say he wished the bullet would have hit Migo Band.
Damn.
Because
wow.
because he started it for no reason. Nobody would have touched Quavo because they would have had to deal with him, answer to him. And I find all that interesting because right after, not shortly after it happened, we know that Jay Prince, turn your camera the other way, baby. Yeah, there you go. So Jay Prince came out and said that, the shooter can't hide behind him, and they're not covering up for anybody. It was, he was talking all this hype stuff about the shooter from the Houston side, and now it looks like a backtrack, and it looks like
now he's placing blame on the other side now.
Complete blame. And for me, as an OG in the game, I don't think the interview was a good look. I don't think he should have did it. I think he should have sent his condolences to the family, immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he talked to Quavo and QC in person in Atlanta after the fact. And he sent his condolences to the mother, but I'm something like, I thought the interview was in bad taste. To speak on someone from that camp and to speak about the situation, place blame, let the police do their job, and then let the family mourn. Don't get into that. So I didn't think the interview. It looked like a cleanup job. It looked like he was trying to, cover their name, and I just don't think the timing was right. But at the end of the interview, man, this word gets funky. So I'm gonna play an excerpt from the interview. It's towards the end of the interview, and this is Jay Prince Sr. talking. And now this is after Jillian Wallow gave some great statements about, just life and being real, and people, just everything that have to be violent. We can, just they said some powerful things. Wallow in particular, you know what I mean? Jay Prince comes behind them, so they let Jay Prince Jr. say something. They let Mike Prince say something, and then Jay Prince closed it off. And towards the end of his statement, he sends a message to Offset. And this is what he said. Give me 1 second. Let me cue this up.
One can dance and different things.
Let me go back a little bit.
I don't like them kind of individuals. So, niggas be throwing, seeing that day, but even more important than that, like I told him the last time I saw him, you know what I mean? There's love here.
You about to say it right now.
There's love here, and I look forward to that coming back together soon. But it's Offset, dude. I ain't gonna leave him out. I'm just real like this, because
Because I'm just real like this.
they just be throwing rocks and hiding their hand, right? They be throwing rocks and hiding their hand. And I don't like them kind of individuals, and the truth of the matter is, one can dance and different things in front of these different cameras and all that kind of shit. And when reality, the truth of the matter is, you know, nigga, you wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive. You know what I mean? So for you to be taking these positions that you taking, you know what I mean? And I got people everywhere, so I hear all kinds of things. I'm gonna just say this to you. Don't never put me in no position where, you know, I have to defend myself. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be healthy for you. And you know, I have to say that. Hey, but it's $1 million
What?
game, and I'm gonna give it to him right on $1 million worth of game, because I ain't gonna throw rocks and hide my hand. I'm gonna just let it be known, you know, to him, because I hear what's being said, and it's all love after that. Peace.
Right.
What?
Let's start with Nikita. What is your immediate reaction to that?
First of all, it's an oxymoron, because you literally just said, don't put me in a position where I gotta defend myself. So really you like inciting violence at that point, and then talk about it's all love after that. No, it's not. Everything you said was disrespectful. So it's all love after what? You know. And he still didn't, you know, he said all that and still didn't speak to what you heard. So it's a mystery. I mean, like, why are we not privy to the information? If we didn't hear it, you know, you got all these people in all these places where you hearing all this information, but you never even told us what you heard. That's just like, it was just like a shot in the dark. Like, let me flex real quick before I go up out of here.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Real weird.
They're supposed to be the OG.
That's supposed to be the OG, man.
The OG don't move like that. That's weird. That's way too much. They got millions of views.
Yeah.
So if anything happens to Offset, it's gonna come right back to you, even if you weren't directly connected to it. They're gonna be like, wait, what was this a threat?
Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely was a threat.
That was definitely a threat.
It was it was like a backhanded threat. She talking about
Right.
I'll protect myself. Like, what's happening?
Yeah. Jay Prince is the god of cold talking, but not cold talking.
Right. Like, we know what you're talking about, but we don't know what you're talking about, bro.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Is the information public? Do you know, Ty? Is the information?
I'm thinking it is, because it's a police statement.
No, I'm saying the information that he's saying about Offset.
Whatever
about
okay, so here we go. Let's hear what Offset had to say real quick.
Okay.
In response, because Offset came right out the Grammys, you know what I'm saying, and went live. So right here.
I don't know him from a can of paint. Hold on, run it back. I don't know this man. What's he talking about? Okay, let's go.
All right, hold on for a minute. Nikita, can you hear?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I'm just out the camera view right now, but I can.
Okay, so here we go. Here's Offset's response.
In a recent interview on the passing of Takeoff.
Y'all speaking on my real brother. I don't know what y'all got, what the y'all nigga got going on. Y'all speaking on my real brother. I dare one of y'all speak on me and Tate relationship. I don't know you from a can of paint. I don't know how me and my brother rock. You trying to clear your face. This your 5th interview. You done did about my brother. You ain't think about it, mama. You ain't think about the family. We ain't said nothing. Ain't nobody said nothing but you. This man, who y'all think y'all is? John got it. Ain't nobody going none of that. I ain't studying none of that shit y'all talking about either. Man, if you come for me, I'm gonna tell you it's gonna come from me. Call my phone. Y'all going off of he say, she say. Then y'all supposed to be this is who y'all supposed to be. And y'all on interviews and it out on an interview. Talking about I said it. Call my phone, homie. You call my phone, we'll have a conversation. They're gonna talk about all that internet games.
Be sure to like,
So he went on to say, also, this your 5th interview you did on my brother. You speaking on my brother.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
We're on a media run. Hold on. Wait.
Yeah, man, press run for real. You know, and that's my thing. I'm like, come on, Jay Prince, man. You're an OG in the game. You know, you as an OG, number one, should never entertain hearsay. And if you did hear something, out of respect to the people that you claim you love, you call them up, you have a conversation. You don't bring that to the internet. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, like I said, on one hand, you can't say you rocking with the family, you got condolences to the family when Offset is immediate family. You know,
this is what I'm saying. Like,
you can't separate the love.
Can't separate him from the family. Like, that's his cousin.
Yeah. So, you know, and he's
but they grew up as brothers.
Right.
That's
right.
Exactly. You know, and he's grieving. So also you got to be some understanding there. If he did say something, he's grieving. Everything is still fresh.
Right. Because who's the person that's taking that personal information and delivering it to Jay Prince? Who is that person?
That's what I want to know.
Because I might be in a vulnerable state and I'm just saying shit like, because I feel some type of way y'all let my nigga get killed while he was with y'all.
Exactly, which is understandable.
So I'm saying shit.
Yeah. So, you know, I would have just left that alone, you know. And so, you know, I really hate this for Jay Prince because, well, I ain't say for Jay Prince. I hate the fact that he has taken these route on the internet over the last couple of years. I feel like his legacy was already.
It started with the Drake thing, bro. It's like, why are you even in this? First off, like, why are you doing a press run about a Drake and Pusha T beef?
Yeah,
I never understood that in the first place. And then you was like covering up about Drake getting bodied. You like, oh, he had the craziest diss track ever. And I told him, no, don't put that out.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, why are you going around telling people this story for?
Yeah,
like, you know what
man.
I mean? Like,
the power of Jay Prince, you know, and I remember him when he was known as Lil J, you know, and so my thing is his power was in his mystique, that you really didn't know who he was or how, you know what I'm saying, and so the less is more, and so his power, he was so renowned and so feared. People didn't even know who he was back in the day. You know what I mean? You just heard him Scarface and Ghetto Boys. You heard him on the albums. You heard him talking, you know. Right. And so, but now over the last couple of years, he's come out, he's talking so much, he's getting involved in all these different things. It's like, it seemed like it's weakening his power. And I feel like it almost like, it feel like his son has done some damage to the legacy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but that's some crazy stuff, man.
But like father, like son, though, because again, you know,
look what daddy doing.
Prince is your daddy, and you have being handed to you. You know, because now you're silenced. Now you're talking, and you embarrassing. Because at that age, you shouldn't even be talking like that.
Right.
You know, you should be giving people the game, you know, really
number wisdom,
really teaching people, the younger people under you, and you talking like them. To me, and I didn't know he did until you just said, I didn't know he did 5 interviews. That's wow. But just this one interview alone, you know, it's like he's trying to be relevant, you know. And while I'm here, let me go on ahead and throw this out, you know, because I am Jay Prince.
Yes.
Don't nobody, you know, really don't nobody care. Like, we really dealing with real life stuff. Like, we really lost somebody, and you weren't here talking and trying to call somebody out. Exactly. It is really, really beneath what an OG would do.
Yes.
Or say.
What I'll say it really played into when you was like, he losing his mystique, because I was like, who you think you John Gotti? Like, nigga, like, we're not scared of you. Right. Like, it's a disconnect now with Jay Prince and what everybody else is thinking of you now. Yes. It's like, nigga, that image of you is gone. Like,
yes, and that's the tragedy. You know, I see this so much. I talk to my wife about this all the time. That's the tragedy with OGs and guys that was in the streets for a while, is that once they hit a certain age in the streets, you know, their name is not ringing bells in the streets anymore. They feel like people have forgotten who they were, and they feel a need to consistently reestablish that, you know, by talking about what they did, you know, and trying to remind people who they were. Like what's understood don't need to be explained. You know what I mean?
Instead of reinventing yourself and going with what's gonna happen regardless, you can't stop evolution.
Right.
So you need to adapt, motherfucker. Like
live with the legend, man. The legend is
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
there. Live with the legend. You know, you ain't gotta, you know, you can't renew your subscription to OGness every 10 years. Every time it's a new crop of
Wow.
young niggas out.
Because yeah, these 15-year-olds don't know who you are, bro.
And they don't care.
And they
Really
don't want to
don't.
know
They
who
don't
you are.
know.
They don't want to
Right.
know who you. They don't
These
care.
niggas is reckless, man. It's the era of disrespect. They got no regard for anybody, man. Nobody. So you know,
They'll cuss out an 80-year-old grandma. They don't care
yeah,
about you being Jay Prince.
yeah, they really don't. And young boy proved that. Young boy went off on him, you know, with no repercussions. You know, so that's that. You know, so yeah, so that I want to definitely get you up to speed on that, man. Just some wild stuff, man.
It's another interesting story. We didn't discuss this earlier, but I do want to touch on it because it seemed like nobody even paid attention to it. When Twitch passed, right? Do y'all remember when Romeo and Master P got into it?
Yep.
Oh my God, yes.
Yep.
Right? Nobody
Yep.
really talked about the accusations that Lil Romeo was putting towards P.
Yeah.
Or whatever about him stealing his money and using his insurance, using it to pay off his taxes and all of this. Didn't nobody really pay attention to it. And then I watched a Fat Trail interview with No Jumper, and he was saying how Master P finessed him to come to LA with Alley Boy and started a group with them without even asking them if they wanted to be a group together. He said they just started popping up on flyers as a group, but both of them was already individually signed to different labels.
Yeah.
They were
wow.
supposed to be shooting it was a remake, a classic remake too. I can't remember what it was, but whatever it was, they were supposed to be bringing Fat Trail to play one of the characters, Alley Boy to play one of the characters. But when they got there, he was on some shit like, y'all work for me now. I'll pay for y'all. I'll give y'all an $1,800 a month allowance. But basically, y'all gotta go to the studio 24 hours a day, push out all these albums and content for me while y'all here. And y'all gotta rely on me to survive while y'all in California, even though $1,800 ain't enough to survive in California.
It
No,
sure
no,
ain't.
hey.
And I just feel like niggas need to take a moment because Master P was like held up on like a super high pedestal when it comes to like the way that he treated the Black environment and like how he gave back to his community and stuff like. But if you giving back to everybody except for the people, because one thing that Fat Trail said was that he cared more about what everybody else think about him, except for the people that are actually involved with him on an everyday basis. Like, so
Okay.
he'll sacrifice the relationship with those people to keep those outside people happy or whatever.
Right.
And I'm saying this to ask this is that, is social media ruining celebrity? Like the access to them, is it ruining the idea of celebrity? Like, what do y'all think? Like, is it because you get so much, anybody can be a celebrity. Now I can go viral tomorrow and then I go to Walmart and people know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't necessarily have to have a skill set to be a celebrity when in past generations you would have to be good at something to be
Right. Yeah, you don't have to be good at
considered a
anything.
celebrity.
I'm gonna let Nikita answer that, but I'm gonna let you know why you might catch a beat down because Master P is her boy now.
I'm just
let you know
curious.
right now.
No,
I'm just make you know. You know what I'm saying?
I love P too because of
Yeah,
how
I do
he
too.
came up and
I do
all the
too.
things that I thought he was doing for the Black
Right.
community.
Right.
But it's like what's real is real. And
Yeah.
I would have never known that if you ain't in front of the camera all the time. It's like T.I. got that effect too. I'm seeing you too much, and now you getting lame as hell. Like one of my favorite rappers ever starting to be lame as a motherfucker, bro.
Now you back on Nikita good side.
Man, T.I.
T.I. lame as hell now, bro. I'm
It's
just
just far
being
forward.
real.
It's that quick, wow. You brought it back full
Though,
circle.
like it's not, I'm gonna be real. I hold Master P in very high regard. So to answer your question, social media is very dangerous. very dangerous because you can get your message out to a lot of people in a very short amount of time. And if it, for the person that's on the receiving end of that information, they still are replying in real time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
they're experiencing it right then.
yeah, so they still have to get time to read, depending on who's relaying that message. So in that instance, your son, how do I handle this? My child is on social media blasting me. He still has to deal with that as a human being.
Right.
And then come back and then make the decision. Do I say something or do I not? Because if you say something, it's a double-edged sword. Because if you say something, people gonna say you shouldn't have said nothing. You should have kept that in-house.
Yeah.
But if you don't say nothing, then everybody looking like
They assume that everything is true that they're saying.
True. Okay, so you can't win for losing in that battle. And I also, it's dangerous because you can have this much information, or somebody could wrong you, perceivably wrong you, and now you can say what you want to say. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. So not discounting anything. I don't know who Fat Trail, is that what you said?
Yeah, Fat Trail.
Okay, I don't know who Fat
He a
Trail.
rapper. And they did everything that he said happened as far as like from the outside looking in. He definitely was in a group with Alley Boy, and they definitely was touring. Like all of those things happened for sure. Now the behind the scenes, I don't know. I don't know if that was true or not.
Yeah, so it's hard to say, whether that. So I do think that social media is very dangerous, and it does take away,
Right.
It does give you a look at a celebrity that we didn't used to have. And that's dangerous because they don't have any privacy.
For example,
You know what I mean?
Everybody hates Oprah. Like it's a list of people that hates Oprah, but back then, like you have to get like a CBS interview to say that you hated Oprah. Like you just can't just go and everybody know you hate Oprah. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's why you just now finding out that people like Monique and stuff, like they dislike her. It's like, why you ain't been saying nothing? Like nobody cared before. Like nobody paid attention before. Like, so it's like it's definitely the access to be able to say stuff and it go viral. Like the girl that went viral yesterday talking about she R. Kelly and Aaliyah. Like, but that fast, her life has changed though. That fast.
Yeah.
Now she's viral. Now she can monopolize that. She can turn it into something.
Yeah,
It's like the
everybody's
Catch Me
watching
Outside
you.
girl. It's like the Catch Me Outside girl.
She's the perfect. She's like the golden child of taking
billionaire.
some bullshit and monopolizing it, bro. She really did.
I send Bitmojis all the time. So I was on Bitmoji trying to send something to Todd because he texted me something and I was like, okay, I'm about to hit him with a Bitmoji. And the first one that came up was Catch Me Outside. I'm like, I know damn well she ain't got a Bitmoji. I mean, like, she is still capitalizing on that silly ass.
Bag.
She got a check.
Yeah.
She had a successful rap career for no reason. She didn't even have to have a rap career. And she had a successful one. Like,
she gets most of her money now from OnlyFans.
Like everything that she did after Dr. Phil, she made a lot of money from it. Every single thing.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's like a dangerous
place. Attention is currency. Like,
Yeah.
It equals money.
Yeah. Again, back to your point, to your question, again, Jay Prince. I think social media has absolutely ruined his legacy. What was intact before the advent of the internet and social media. Jay Prince and as far as Master P, I think that's just it's terrible because it's two sides to every story. I think there's some validity to, some of his business practices, you know what I mean? And honestly, I think to get to that level of Jay-Z, Master P,
Puff,
Puffy, I think a level of shrewdness, arrogance, and
some scamming
it takes place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do think he's helped a lot of people. I think I definitely respect what he's done in the game. I think it's unfortunate that what they had going on as a father and a son had to hit the public eye, and one that the son doesn't need to expose his father in the public, and that this father doesn't need to respond publicly. You know what I mean? I think it's a tragedy. But again, we're all trying to save face because we're worried about the public view. We're worried about what the public is thinking. And at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. And so you look at Jay Prince, you look at your Master P's, you look at your T.I.s, man. T.I. is just, you know, I regard T.I. as, you know, he's like the for me, Goody Mob and Outkast as a collective is like the NWA for the South. So what NWA was to the West Coast and in LA, Outkast and Goody Mob is, as a collective is NWA, is the way that they represent, you know, the culture, how we dress, how we talk, the lingo, how we walk, how we think. You know what I mean? They did that. T.I. would be the Ice Cube of that, though separate from the NWA. Like T.I., you know, he's an authentic Atlanta nigga. You know what I'm saying? When I hear him talk, when I see how he moved, like when I was in Atlanta, on the West Side, off Bankhead, that's the type of niggas I was around dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was younger, the younger T.I. And I love that about him because he represents, you know what I'm saying, the area so well. It was true to the cloth.
Yeah.
Now it's like, again, he's one of them dudes, he's always trying to prove he tough, always got to respond, always got to act out, you know.
Always got to be relevant, just thirsty to be relevant.
Let the legend
he's a gimmick at this point. I mean, like, he's literally a gimmick. You know, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Like, why are you arguing with Charleston White, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like,
no, why are you trying to be a comedian now? Like, stick to your
in real and for real.
Go back to your first love.
But then a street nigga getting mad when people booing. Like, you can't, like, bro, you gotta have tough skin.
Yeah, trying to be tough about it. It's trying to be tough about it. Like,
he trying to fight the crowd.
Please make it make sense, man. Like, it's like every time you turn the camera on, man, it's some come on,
foolishness.
Man. Yeah, him and his son, like,
no,
it's like his son is like literally trying to duplicate what he's seen his dad do. Like, even though he doesn't have to at all.
Right, without the background.
But it's just like, I want to though. I wanna be like my dad. Like,
Tip out here, man, you know, putting charges on dead folks. I'm like, why did you feel like you had to tell us that, bro?
You
like,
Tip.
At all. You could have kept that to yourself.
You
say what?
He could have kept that to himself. We did not need to know that.
Out here talking to spirits, man. You know what I mean? Like,
they say, yeah, that one just for y'all. That one just for y'all. Like, nigga, no, don't tell us that. Why would you tell us that?
Don't tell us that, man. God, damn,
had a snitch stigma on you for the last 10 years, bro. Why would you tell people that, bro?
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
He was in my top 5. That nigga in my top 30 or 6. He like 36, 37 on my list now, bro. Like,
yeah, man, that shit crazy, man.
Gotta move some people in front of Tip now, bro. I wish he was just sat down, bro. It's like, do your movie shit. He could have had a decent little B movie career, bro. Like,
yeah. So basically, social media done made us whores, attention whores.
For attention whores for sure.
For attention, yeah. Well, you post something and you watch that motherfucker for 10 hours trying to see what the views look like addiction.
Right.
Yeah.
The real addiction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just want to plug in that Todd forced me to watch ATL last night.
ATL is the top 5 most horrible good movie ever, bro. Like, it's definitely horrible.
That's a great description. Thank you. Because I
definitely horrible.
But it's a bad movie.
It's a good movie.
It's a bad hood classic, man.
Definitely horrible. Don't get me wrong. I'm not in denial.
Thank you, Wise. Thank you. Well, they act like that movie is a hood. It is. I can't stand it. It got some funny elements, like it got some good parts, but it's a bad movie.
Tell me your favorite part, baby. Tell me your favorite part. Tell me what your favorite part is.
You didn't hit me in my mouth with some goddamn money. I said, I just want to have. I just want to have an opportunity in real life to use that in a serious situation. Like somebody throw some money at me just so I can say that. Like it's just a classic line. And I just, I just want to do it one day.
That's funny, bro. Yeah, ATL is it wasn't directed good, it wasn't shot well. It's not a good movie, but it just resonates. It for sure resonates.
It resonates.
Definitely.
That's
It resonates with y'all. See, but y'all from there, so it resonates
Right.
with y'all. It don't hit with me at all. I'm just like, it just don't hit. It's not giving what it needed to give at all. And then there's T.I., and I'm just like,
Yeah, no, T.I. did a horrible job at ATL.
T.I. running up on Big Boy. Like, am I supposed to really believe this in real life?
T.I. did a horrible job at ATL, bro.
Oh man, y'all can do my guy Tip like that, man. Tip
That on top of the
Tip
fact, I'm supposed to believe this nigga a senior in high school? Are you kidding me?
Bro, they all was old as hell. Like, just look at his whole crew.
Okay, but at least Jason
grown
Weaver
men.
was like, a 4-time senior. Like we
Right.
knew he was old. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like nigga, you 27. Stop this. It was just, oh my
Hey
God.
man, y'all
It was
gonna do my
a
boy
mess.
Tip like that, man. Tip should have got an Oscar for that role, man.
No,
Man.
man.
Ooh-wee.
Tip is the exact same person in every movie, no matter what it's about. Like, literally, nigga. He was a whole slave, nigga. He acted just like he
What
acted
movie
in
was he a
ATL.
slave in?
He was in Roots, the show.
What?
He was on, what's the nigga that got his foot cut off? He was his son.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, he was Kunta Kinte's son. I swear to God.
All right, I'll never watch.
I swear, man.
I'll never watch that. I was thinking of Takers, but
He
T.I.
was
with
in Takers,
Takers
but-
and T.I. Same.
No,
Like,
he was in Roots. Because what was the other topic?
Kyrie.
Tyree. Oh, Tyree.
We missing one though. We had 3 of them. We had
Tyree Nichols.
Oh, Tyree Nichols. Let's dive into Tyree Nichols, man.
Yeah.
Definitely. Rest in peace, Tyree, man. That whole
Rest in
situation
peace.
is crazy. Because I might have to rant about this one. Y'all, what's y'all opinion on that situation, that whole situation?
I'm gonna let you go first.
You know, it's just messed up from start to end, man. The fact that, when the cameras come on, like, first of all, why we don't get any dash cam, anything from the dash cam that shows anything previous to the stop. At least I didn't see it.
Let me ask you this so you can put it into your response. Did it not seem like they did like a build up for the video to drop? Almost like a promo run for the video to drop. Like
It did.
it was weird, bro. It's like they was promoting it to like on Friday.
Yeah.
You can see the nigger get beat. Like that's how it was. Like
Get
it
your
was
I
right.
didn't
weird.
think about it like that, but yeah,
Get your riot gear ready.
That's what they kept saying. Like all the different counties and stuff were getting ready for riots.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like almost they was prepping the people, us to hey, y'all, we want y'all to
And the crazy part, it was nowhere near the response to what they thought it was gonna be.
Right.
Which
Yeah,
is
it's just-
kind of weird. It's weird a little bit, actually.
Yeah. Like it's died down completely, So it's just an unfortunate event, man. It's to see us do us like that. I never thought I'd see something like that on TV, man. Where like you said, I saw a post you made where you said the man was kicking the man so hard the boy was limping when he got done. So I mean, it was heartbreaking because that could have been, as always, either one of us, and it was just no excuse for that, man. If it looked really personal, and I know y'all done heard some of the rumors that's going on about that, and it looks to be personal, from the jump. Because who pulls somebody out the car, call him a bitch ass nigga off the rip?
I never heard no cops talk like that. Boy, I'm about to break your shit, fuck nigga. Whoa.
Right,
What?
right, right.
Like, hold on. When the cops start talking like that,
Yeah, what set you
Right.
from? Yeah,
it's
Right.
thugs.
Niggas was definitely Crips, okay?
Gangbangers. Hold on, bro.
yeah. Yeah, but why? But did you hear that? Did you know? Well, you probably know that the chief who started the Scorpion unit there, someone said that she also started the Red Dog in Atlanta.
And that's what they do. That's what the Red Dogs do. Exactly what they showed in that video. That's what the Red Dogs do almost on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
See that makes even more sense.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes even more. Except they if, as long as people ain't dying, you won't hear about it.
Yeah.
He just happened to die.
Absolutely.
And that's what make it more suspicious is that what is the Scorpion unit jumping out for a nigga reckless driving?
Right. Why are y'all even on that? y'all.
Like, that's not your job, bro.
Right,
Like,
right.
we got regular cops to
So
pull
regular
them
cops,
over. Like,
traffic cops. You know what I mean? You know,
Like,
like
what
she
do
didn't. Like she didn't even watch the video. She couldn't watch it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
respect it.
Just hearing, even just because Todd was watching it, and I had to have him turn it down because I'm an emotional person, and then I got sons. You know, we got sons, but my son is 14, could easily be mistaken for older. You know, and I just always I can envision that being my child, and that do something to me. So I just can't watch. I can't watch. Think that you minding your business, because that's what it appears to be, you know,
That's
because they said
exactly
they have
what
no
it is.
proof of him even reckless driving. And even if he was, is that cause to get your ass beat by 5 niggas and suffer for 3 days, you know, till you finally die? Like,
And
no.
they pulled them out the car from the jump. That's why it had to have been something else, bro. Because off the jump, they were snatching them out the car. It's like, for a traffic stop? Like, you're not snatching me out the car for a traffic stop. What's happening right now?
Exactly. You know, and he don't even like by most accounts, like from guys like us, like we would, you know, in the days, you know, we look at him like this guy he was a freelance photographer, and I think he was a skateboarder. You know, we would call him a square. You know what I mean? No disrespect, you know what I mean? But just and so like what that's no that it's not even on him like that. You know, the way even when he was talking, he was being respectful still. Like, y'all doing too much.
Why
like,
are y'all doing all of this? He was
why y'all doing
confused. That
Yeah.
man was genuinely confused. He didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
Like, why y'all doing this to me?
Where that energy came from, you know.
That man tried to run home. That's the saddest part about the whole shit.
They say he was 3 blocks away from his house.
Wow.
He tried to run to his mama, man.
They say he was 3 blocks away from his house, and that's why he was calling his mama name, hoping his mama hearing. You know. But what's your thoughts on it? Well, I know you.
It's 2 things. It's one big thing that I really didn't like. I don't like the every news station possible giving a play-by-play breakdown of black people beating black people, because y'all never do that when white people kill us. Ever. Like, I've never turned on Fox and it was a white guy with a pointer, like, and this is when he hit him upside the head, and this is when he was kicking him in the stump. They literally was doing a breakdown of when he was getting punched in the ribs, and it looks like he's hitting him with the baton. Oh my God, look at his head. What are we doing right now? This is something else going on. That's completely disconnected from what's happening in the moment. Like, it seemed real agenda-like. It seemed like we finna promote this to the masses to make something happen. Like, and it didn't respond how they thought it was gonna respond.
Yeah.
They thought that black people was gonna have this crazy uproar.
Yeah.
And it's a little disheartening, I guess, that black people didn't do anything. Yes. Because it's the system, the culture that's within the police academy is what the problem is.
Right.
It's like, that's what we need to be fighting against. Like, who are they? They said they were giving people money just to be cops in Memphis. That's how bad they don't want to be a cop. We're gonna give you $3,000-$4,000 signing bonus. In one county, they was doing $25,000, bro, to sign up to be a cop.
Man, them military bonuses, man.
So they And because nobody signed up, now we got to drop the credentials down. We don't need as much from you because don't nobody want to do the job. So we're just gonna bring in some random guys that'll do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's where the renegades come in at.
So that's the issue that we have right now. It's like we can't just make it a race war every time. It's not always necessarily a race war. It's systematic. It's like we systematically oppressed in this society. So it's certain instances like, yeah, these are black people that killed him, but that don't make it okay.
Right.
Because they was black and they killed, and that's the feeling that I'm getting right now. Like, I'm not saying I wanted us to go loot and kick in doors or nothing, but it's like, damn, like,
Yeah.
can we get some type of
response?
Even from our leaders?
Yes.
Where are our leaders at?
Who are the leaders?
Where are all these niggas that collect money every goddamn month? All these Patreons and give to me and all. Where y'all at?
Right.
What, like, and look how, and why they convict them? I mean, why did they charge them so fast?
Right.
They charged them folks so damn fast. They fired them and charged them within a week.
Yeah. And we celebrating that. And we know that, the white counterparts, that would have never happened.
It's a 6 cop that they don't even talk about. That's white.
That's white. The one with the taser.
And he on leave right now. He not fired. He on leave. But he was there.
Okay. Okay. I thought he had quit, but okay. So he just on leave.
He on leave, man. On paid leave. Come on, man.
I think some of that goes. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So some of that goes. What you had said was about how they, broke down broke down him being beat. I was a little girl when Rodney King happened, but Rodney King was on every channel.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So is that really the issue? Because a lot of the police brutality that happens is, it's kind of, it's sad to say, but it's like, okay, we shot him, we killed him, that's the end of it. But to beat somebody to death, I think is a huge deal. And I think that's why it was broken down the way it was broken down. Because that wasn't an open and shut. Do I think there's some discrepancies in, like you said, there being 6 cops, one being white and him still being employed and not being as talked about, of course. But I think the severity of that incident is what made it a hot topic the way it is now.
I can
at that time.
I can respect that perspective of it being so serious. I guess it just rubbed me the wrong way. It made me feel some type of way just seeing them break it down like that. And I had never seen it like that before. Because even with the Rodney King shit, it's like they kind of just showed it though. It was on every station, but it wasn't this though. This was like a literal, like if you was watching Sports Center, like they were doing like, oh, there's his foot connecting with his skull. Whoa, like what the fuck? Like what's happening right now? Like that. And it could, like you said, it could have just been the seriousness of it and to be a news anchor, you have to be disconnected emotionally because you're telling these stories on a daily basis, gruesome stories on a daily basis. So that could be my disconnect too. That I know these people don't really care that this man got killed or whatever.
Yeah.
It could, all that plays a part into the way that I feel.
Yeah.
I can admit that.
Yeah, the ESPN sports thing is a good one because ESPN is the master of taking one event and taking it from show to show. It'd be the same topic.
It'd be the same topic.
It'd be the same, play, and every show is going to talk about it in a different way, and they drag it out for the whole day, from show to show, from segment to segment. So it's like they give it play by play, and so it almost looked like it's for sport. It's almost look like it takes away from it dilutes the seriousness of it.
Serious, and then the people that's delivering the message, like maybe this is the time where you say, hey, let's bring in Antoine from Fox Tennessee and let him tell the story. You know what I mean? Like, but I know in the moment you can't goddamn you ain't thinking about that. You thinking about these views, you thinking about being on top of the story, you thinking about being the first person to break the story. I know you're not gonna be like, let's make the black people happy and have a black person tell what happened to them. I get
Right.
it.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's just still, it's I don't know, it just still made me feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Like, yes. Yeah, man, I don't know. We can move on because this topic making me goddamn anxious.
I'm-
Bad like foot, right? All right, y'all. So we about to dive into the main topic of the day, and it's basically if you had the opportunity to go back in your past and tell your younger self one thing in specific, what would it be?
I'm gonna go first. I know y'all gonna cook on this one. I'm gonna get mine out the way. A couple of them out the way. You know, we interchange, but I'm gonna say, you know, I was thinking about this, and the first thing for me is that I would go back and tell myself that you don't have to become what you see, and also that you can become what you see. And so, what I mean by that is, of course, I grew up in Albany, Georgia. Your boy just threw a whole plate of eggs on the ground. I don't know what he did, but he threw something on the ground. It's a wrap. He good. So, you know, so Albany is one of the poorest cities in the country per capita. You know, and so I grew up in poverty-stricken environment. You know, a lot of in the crack era, and so my vision was very limited. You know, and I didn't capitalize on my talents and gifts because my vision was obscure. It was just like I couldn't see past certain points. You know, I never dreamed that I could be anything outside of what I seen. You know, I love Michael Jordan, love Magic Johnson. You know, I grew up, I could rap very well when I was younger. I never even tried to become a rapper, not once. And not to toot my home, but I was revered as an MC. Like, I was one of the first MCs in Georgia, like for real. You know, started rapping when I was 9 in 1986. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, I was writing raps, like real commentary, not the booty shake stuff that was going on back then. And so I started really, and I was really good, but I never even thought about it, Wise. You know, I never even thought about trying to get to a studio. I didn't have the ambition. I didn't have the dream. I was a fan. You know, I was gifted. I was a gifted athlete to play basketball, football, with the main sports. Very gifted at both of them. And I did pursue that a little bit, but because of my environment, I got sucked in by the environment, and I didn't have the vision to carry it out. You gotta have vision to be successful. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys in my era and area could not see past our environment. So we just gravitated to what we saw, we wanted to be, and just to get by. And so I would go back and tell myself, you don't have to become what you see. You know, there's a greater world out here. There's a bigger world out here. And everything you see on TV, the dreams, the big houses, the success that you see other people living in, that you revere and you're a fan of, you can become that. You can have that. You know what I'm saying? But, it takes work. You know what I'm saying? Work ethic. And so going to my other point, the other thing I would tell myself is you need consistency. You know, I struggle with consistency. You know what I mean? And I would tell myself, you have to stay the course. You have to be consistent. You have to have a certain practice and do things in a systematic way and do it every day. Do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Not just here, not just there, not just sporadically, not just when it's hot. You gotta discipline yourself to consistency to get to where you want to be in life. You know what I mean? And so I'll just start there. Those are two things that I would go back and tell my younger self is to, enlarge that vision, and you can become what you see on a greater scale outside of your environment.
It's a good one.
That's good advice.
That's a real good one. You want me to go first or you want to
You can go.
go? I would probably say, I would probably tell myself that the self-validation that I'm looking for, or the validation in general that I'm looking for is inside of me. And to stop trying to, I had a thing when I was younger that I lived for other people, like every decision that I made up to I was like probably like 23 or 24, I had somebody else in mind while I was making the decision instead of doing it just solely for what I wanted to do. So that's probably the biggest thing. And to not be to embrace my leadership. Like I had an issue up until recently of like actually taking control of large situations or whatever. Like it's seemed like a lot of responsibility. So I always played like the back role and did the following shit. And that's what ended me getting in jail because I was being a follower. So those are probably the two strongest advice points that I would give myself is that stop looking outside of yourself for happiness, number one, and be a leader. Like, yeah, those are my things.
I'm gonna piggyback on that real quick. Another thing I would tell myself is that, to your point, I would tell myself, stop, that don't be afraid to be big time.
That's a big one.
You know, a lot of people don't, a lot of people they were like, nigga, yeah, right. If I tell them this, like I was shy growing up. You know what I mean? Really shy, and I knew how to be cool. You know what I'm saying? My big brother was cool. So I just did everything he did, you know what I'm saying? And so I knew what it was to be cool and all that. But really I was shy. I didn't like my voice. I never liked my voice. I never liked how I sound when I talk. And so I talked, I kept my conversations minimum and definitely only about the things that I absolutely knew, you know what I mean? But because I was shy and I got a little Leo in here too, I felt like the whole world was always watching me. And so I always had
a little bit of Leo when you hold on. Sir.
Stop, why?
Hold on, sir.
Come back to that. Come back. I'm losing. I already know what's going on. He a Leo hater. So, but it caused me to have performance anxiety all the time. So when I got on basketball practice, I felt like everybody was watching me, even if I didn't have the ball, and I didn't want to mess up. You know what I'm saying? And so it messed with me. You know what I'm saying? And then on the other side of that is that I was very comfortable playing the background role. Always try to, lift my brothers up or be a good support. I excel as a backup dancer, a guy in the background. You know what I'm saying? I was cool with people, other people being in the front. But because I am, people always try to push me to the front. You know what I'm saying? I was playing. But now I had opportunities to be the guy, and I shied away from it under the guise of being humble. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, even when I was playing football, I was playing quarterback one time, and one of the coaches was like, man, you can take that person's spot, man. You got it. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to tell me he saw something that I didn't believe, or that I was, and I was too comfortable with being the backup, being the second guy. He basically saying, man, take the position. Like, you got to have a killer instinct. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing second fiddle and be the full person that you are. You know what I'm saying? So, in so many words, I was scared to be big time. I was scared to be, by the time I got to that, I had graduated high school. The game was, you know what I'm saying? By the time I got ambition and the motivation to be the guy, certain opportunities they were gone. You know what I'm saying? So I just say something close to that. So I want to just kind of jump on that real quick.
Absolutely. And that's, you said something big. It was like you almost be scared to be successful because you ain't never. It's like it's not your comfort zone.
Right.
So it's like you gotta get out your comfort zone to be successful. You ain't never experienced it before. You know what I mean? And it's such an oxymoron that like trauma and stress like is a comfort zone for us. Like that's fucked up. Like
Absolutely.
I actually feel better when I'm in this space. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's weird. But yeah, you gotta allow yourself to be great. Allow yourself to be the person that you're supposed to be, for sure. That's advice for all the young people out there.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
don't let other people control your narrative. Your
Yeah.
reality is your narrative. Nobody else should control that but you, for sure. Now it's your
I
turn.
loved both of y'all's advice to self. For me, the advice that I would give myself is my younger self is don't force it.
Mm,
A lot of so me and Todd have a running joke because I say he too far in the trenches for me because I always be like, I didn't grow up poor. Like we had money,
right.
love we lacked, you know. And so it wasn't material things that we didn't have. It was, you know, emotional
Mhm.
that love that we didn't have. And so I found myself forcing relationships. And that's not just romantic relationships, but friendships,
too.
you know, this need to have people around to try and fill that void. And it was a forced, it became a forced issue. And so it's the reason why I gravitated, unfortunately, to the streets, because when you don't have love at home, you know, that's where you go. That's where you go, you know. And so but had I not forced those things, I was a straight A student, you know.
Right.
And one of my biggest regrets is not going to prom, not going to college, doing the stuff that I could have done had I not forced it and just focused on me and just been happy with my relationship with myself, being happy with who I was.
And
You know, I feel like I would have.
before you finish, hold on, not to cut your wisdom, but before you finish,
No.
do you feel like you get your same person that you are right now if you don't have those experiences though?
See, and that's the catch-22. Now that's a topic for another day, but yes, you don't, it's impossible. I would not be who I am right now had I not went through all the stuff that I went through.
Right.
Like one story I always tell, I was so entrenched in the streets that I didn't know anything else outside of that. So finally, when I broke free from that, I realized I was a nerd. I like camping. I like, you know, the outdoors. Like it was stuff that I just did not know about myself because I had never deep dived into me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I never put that effort in that time into myself, like really into, you know, figuring out who I actually was. I just became something, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So,
that's accurate.
yeah. How do you become, you know, how do you become, even now being a new mom at 37, I'm the mom I am because I was a mom at 16. So I could look back and see, you know, the mistakes I made. You know, I'm the wife I am now because I was, you know, a girlfriend for years, you know, and there were certain things that I picked up, of course, things that are in you naturally, but things that you pick up along the way that make or break you, you know.
Absolutely.
And, you know, forcing it ended up all right, but I still wish I could have took, you know, in a way, wish I could have took another path,
Right.
easier path.
Fast podcast, dude. I see you over there. Hey.
Yeah, that's don't force it. Just let it flow. Just let it flow, because at the end of the day, what's for you is for you. You know, nobody can take what God has for you. And so you don't have to force anything. So that would be my advice to me.
That's good advice too. Like I feel like is forcing it, is that the same as feeling forced? Like feeling like you have to do something? Like you in a certain situation and you feel like you're obligated to go through with this process? Like even like, for example, let me use this for example. Like say if you in the streets and you jump in the car with somebody and you know what the end result of this, me jumping in this car might be, just by getting in the car with these people. I know what might can happen. is that the same feeling where it's like, okay, you think in your head where it's like, I should get out this car because I know all this information, but I'm still gonna go for this ride. Like, is that the same as forcing it, or is forcing it and feeling forced the same thing,
I think it's
or,
two
or
different
feeling
things.
obligated?
I think it's two different things. I yeah, I think it's two different things because I could think of some opportunities where I felt forced, and I could think of some situations where I didn't feel forced and I did it anyway. You know,
And you
just
just was
ignorant.
you was just on that shit, right?
Yeah, just
Right.
ignorant. So
Right.
yeah, I think it's two different things.
Okay.
What you think?
I know I agree. I just wanted to make sure that I was seeing it the same way that you were seeing it. I always like to look at different perspectives of everything.
Yeah,
And I just wanted to make sure that I was on the same wavelength of you as you saying that. But no, for sure, definitely don't force things for the younger people watching. It's almost like going against the grain. It's like when you go against the grain, when you turn your hair gonna look crazy as hell. Like it's well, when you cut with the grain, you get a smooth cut all around. That's life. Anytime you go against the
Yeah.
grain, you're gonna get resistance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's how you know you're going the wrong direction. When you get a whole bunch of resistance, you need to stop trying to fight it. And that's my issue. I'm hard-headed. Resistance made me want to go harder at it. Like it's like, we got it. You know what I mean? Because it's a chance that we weren't supposed to film this today because everything was happening or whatever. But I really, really wanted to shoot this episode because it was so much shit happening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, and that's the flip side of that coin. Like, is it the enemy trying to stop you from, hitting you with all
Right.
these different forces so you can't stop? Like, you really gotta
And that's
have
how I like
discernment
to
and know
look at it.
what's really going on. Is
Right.
that your cue to stop or is that your cue to keep going?
Yeah. That's the tough part. How do you decipher that? You just gotta trust yourself, I guess. It's like make a decision and stand on it.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
don't, it's hard to tell sometimes until it's over with.
Yeah.
So Nikita, what would you say to the young ladies out here? So you can't go back and talk to yourself, but you can go back and talk to a young 16-year-old, young 20-year-old, even a young 24-year-old young lady. What can you offer them in the form of advice now? So what would you tell a young lady now that you tell yourself just from a woman's perspective and what they're facing at those ages or whatnot?
The big one is what you're attracted to at 16 is not going to be the same thing you're attracted to at 25. So your best bet is to pour into you. Like, there's so much emphasis. I'm dealing with it now with my son. The way these girls chase after my son. How they chase after Andrew. Like, focus on you. You don't have to be a girlfriend. You don't have to be in a relationship to be valued. You know what I mean? And so I think the major thing is love you. Love you. Take your time. Enjoy your life. Don't rush out here and get into something because then you feel obligated to stay in that thing. Okay, you've been with this dude for a year. Okay, now it's 2 years. Now you feel like wasted 2 years, so you might as well keep going. Focus on you. Travel. And the big thing is, I know sex seems super important, and it is important, but it ain't going nowhere. As long as you live it, you're gonna be able to have sex. Be celibate. Be celibate and really enjoy companionship, male and female, without the pressure of sex. I wish it was easier said than done, but it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. So that's what I would say. Focus on you. Focus on, the internal works of yourself rather than what's going on around you.
I got a question for y'all. So you said that what was lacking from your household was the emotional attachments, the love or whatnot. And a lot of people will get to be 20 years old, 20 plus years old, and not even know what our trauma is about or why we act on certain situations or things that trigger us. We don't understand why they trigger us. What is something that you can, or maybe a technique or something that you do that helped you realize what was going on, or what your issues were. How could somebody else identify them that might have been through something similar that you went through, but they 20 years old and they don't know why they're acting the way that they're acting?
Great.
How do you realize it?
I think you really got to take a step back and be honest with yourself. I'm a huge advocate for therapy. You know, most of the time when you could think to yourself, you know, I don't know why I'm like this, that's your key clue that you need to talk to somebody, because that unbiased, you know, it's hard to talk to family when family has experienced the same things you've experienced 9 times out of 10. You know, your siblings, your parents, you know, you are the way you are because of them. You know, so I think when you get to that point of I don't know, I do these things and I don't know why, then it's time to talk to somebody, get that unbiased opinion, because they're not there to understand you. They're there to pull what's in you out of you, you know, and talk you through that process. So that's for me, 18, 19, 20 is prime time, because you're moving out, you're transitioning from, you know, adolescence into adulthood. And so now it's time to get, you know, in order to move forward, you got to deal with what was behind you first. And so that would be my big advice is talk to somebody. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody. Don't be so prideful that you feel like you can't talk to nobody or nobody understands, because that's the thing. They not there to understand you. They're there to help you. And when you find yourself in a situation where you keep doing the same thing over and over and over,
Yes.
and you keep getting the same results, you know, they always say that's insanity. That's crazy. Like, you just gonna keep doing the same thing over and over again. You gonna keep bumping your head. You gonna keep bumping your head, and then the worst part is you want to blame somebody else for it. You know, take
You hit them
accountability for
head
you.
in.
Yeah, take accountability for your part and figure that part out, whatever that looks like, and move forward after that.
I agree.
Out of my mind. I literally was gonna come back on top of what you said the first time and say another symptom the symptom that leads you to the point where you say, what's wrong with me is when you do the same thing, you keep finding yourself in the same position, doing the same thing, wrong thing over and over again. That was perfect.
And so a dude told me one time that you have to become fed up before you can change. Like, you have to be so pissed off with yourself before you can even think about changing. You have to be fed up with whatever is going on around you, whatever your situation is. You can't be okay with it anymore. And I think sometimes we be so in a comfort zone, such a crazy comfort zone, that we never change. Like, we just kind of just live our life a certain way. And then it don't help when people say, oh, that's just how Sheena is. That's just how Jasmine is. That's just how she is. And we let these people live a certain way.
Yes.
And they die a shitty person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's go ahead, babe.
No, go ahead. Good.
I was gonna say that's, you know, excuse me, the excuses that we make for people, you know, the way we baby people, even when it comes to our children, you know, the way we baby people and make excuses for them, you know, that don't help. You know what I mean? And like I have people reach out to me all the time, and one of the first things I say, are you tired? You know, because I'm tired of it, but I ain't you. You know, until you're tired, you ain't gonna do nothing different. Yeah. And then you got to realize that putting in the work to try to change that is exhausting too. So, you know, you really have to be prepared for the work that you got to put in to grow and become a different person, if that's what you want. Some people are comfortable, and like you said, they gonna stay comfortable. They're comfortable in that. That's what works for them. It goes back to social media. You know, you're not gonna fix it when you're hungry for attention. You're not gonna fix what brings you attention. So being broken, being, you know, down and out all the time is what brings you attention. You're not gonna fix that thing.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Like, as long as I'm a victim, people are gonna treat me like that. Like, people are gonna always be by my side to rescue me. Yes. I never thought about that.
Yeah. That's heavy. That's heavy.
I literally never thought about it. That's crazy. That's true.
Yeah.
As
People
long as I'm the
love
victim.
to be the victim.
That's an
Yeah.
old saying. When I was in business, I was get this analogy a lot about a dog who's accidentally sits on a nail on the porch, you know, and he's going through excruciating pain, the nail, being in his bottom or whatnot, But after a while, so it's painful to take the nail out, but it's also painful to keep the nail.
Leave it in.
You know what I mean? But after a while, sitting on the nail for so long, it becomes normal, and he gets comfortable living with that pain. And with Sean, the idea of the nail being removed at the terror of the pain that will result from them removing the nail, and so to go with that, but all you gotta do is remove the nail, and so there's gonna be initial pain, but the persistent pain will go away, and he can heal. And so there's a saying that goes with that. It says that when the change, it talks about change, that until the pain of remaining the same outweighs the pain of change, then one will change.
Mm.
Until the pain of remaining the same outweighs the pain of change, then one will change.
Yeah. And then it's like, will it be too late though? Like when that, like how severe is that pain gonna be for you to change?
Yes.
Are you on your deathbed and now you're trying to apologize to people?
You have
You
no
know what I'm saying?
to make that transition now. If you wait too long, wait too long.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, man, I think we done touched on everything.
One more thing, though, I think we all can agree on. Yeah, I want to get it out.
You said what?
I'm gonna say one more thing though before we close out.
What's up?
To cover us all is that I would tell myself to focus on financial literacy.
Oh, amen. Golly.
Boy, what? What?
Man, listen, what?
What?
Credit.
What? Invest now. Get credit now. Do it all right now.
It's my money and I want it now. I seen a
Do
post
it
on
all
Facebook
now.
the other day that said, if I would have known life was gonna be like this, I would have started saving my money in kindergarten. That ain't no lie, man.
Real.
Man, if I would have known my credit was this important, I wouldn't have got that Yonkers card and maxed it out when I turned 18. Like, come on now.
And that's another thing culturally, like Black people put shit in our kids' names before they even get a chance. Now I got 4 utility bills on my fucking credit and I'm 6.
Yeah.
Like
The Columbia House CDs.
Oh man, Columbia House CDs, Encyclopedia Britannica. What the hell of it? Nigga, no, ain't encyclopedias, man.
Oh.
Like, so like we gotta give our kids a chance too. Like,
Absolutely.
gotta give our kids a chance.
And
Teach
the
them
thing
like
about kids, though, they hard-headed. Kids is hard-headed.
kids hard as hell. You can tell them something over and over and over, and they'll still fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
but I tell my girl, like, just keep telling them, because it was moments where I literally heard my mom's voice in my head, like, and it could have saved my life. I'm gonna go ahead and go on a limb. It was times that she did save my life where I literally heard her say, "Bro, get your stupid ass out the car." Like, what are you doing? Like, I literally heard her say that. Like, so just keep telling them every time they do some hard-headed shit, just reiterate, look, man, that was stupid, but look, this is why it was done. We try to tell them why it's a bad decision too, instead of just bashing them about what they did wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Help them get a full understanding of why that was dumb as hell.
Right.
Yeah, true that.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all, man. Good show. Episode 6 down. What we got? Like an hour and a half?
What? Man,
2 hours?
I enjoyed chatting with y'all, chopping it up with y'all.
Well, you see how fast the time go by.
I will tell you, being on the podcast and being on the couch is two different things.
It's
I will tell
completely
you that because I be looking at my clock, I be looking at my watch, looking at him like, okay, now. But I
It's
get it.
different.
I get it. Much respect to y'all and what y'all do. Yes, it's
Because it could definitely keep going for sure. Like
we can keep going. I'm chilling. I'm cooling.
that's what I was saying. It's like I can't keep going. That's why I was saying I gotta put my foot down. But it's
Damn
the
it, that's
possibility that it can type shit.
I'm thinking we had 2 hours. I'm thinking at least 2 hours.
Yeah. And we can lock in again too, because we really slipped behind.
Yeah,
So we need content. So we can definitely lock in again whenever you're free.
yeah, for sure. We can do that, man.
All right, y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed day, man.
All right, my brother.
All right, take care.
You're
Win it. No cheat codes, pressure on pressure, make gold. Patience on patience, don't fold. All we want is everything, that's all we win. No cheat codes, pressure on pressure, make gold. Patience on patience, don't fold. All we want is everything, that's all we win.